this is Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. So today I wanted to visit with you a little bit about supercars. Now, generically, let's define a supercar. Is it because it's super expensive? Is it because it looks super cool? Is it because it's super fast? Actually, it's all of those things. There's no real definition of what a supercar is. I Googled it because I was curious what the official definition is. And Wikipedia tells me that basically it is a very high-end, powerful luxury car. It's pretty generic. When you think about the major supercar brands, right? You think of Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, McLaren, Pagani, Koenigsegg, lots of others, right? You don't necessarily think of your run-of-the-mill cars, your run-of-the-mill brands, BMW, Audi, Mercedes, Ford, Chevrolet. You just don't think of them as supercars or supercar manufacturers. But the truth is, if we go by the definition on Wikipedia, there's a lot of American supercars. I'm going to start with Chevrolet. Their Corvette, right? The brand new C8 Corvette looks like a supercar. In fact, a lot of people gave it tons of crap when it first came out because it looked a lot like a Ferrari, or at least had a lot of Italian styling with the sharp, jagged edges, and it's much more aggressive appearance as opposed to the C7 and earlier. Now, from a performance standpoint, it can hang with any Italian. Again, I would argue it is a supercar from a status standpoint. When you look at, price, it's way cheaper than any Italian counterpart. Styling is going to be similar. Interior, maybe it doesn't have fine Italian leather, but it's still going to have leather. Maybe it doesn't have, state-of-the-art touchscreen, this, that, and the other, but it's still going to have pretty state-of-the-art appearance package and all those things. Internally, you're going to have all the electronics, all the power gadgets, heated seats, power everything, you name it, it's going to have it. That's really the truth of it. And I would say that, most people would not consider a Corvette a supercar. So now let's move into Ford. Ford has maybe two potential supercars. They have the GT car, the Ford GT. Beautiful, beautiful car. It is, selling on the open market today for well over $1 million per example. Not a ton of them out there, but highly sought after, very desirable, very fast, very expensive, super everything, right? Standard supercar, no question there. But let's talk about the Ford Mustang GT500, the new Shelby. That thing has 760 horsepower. That thing is a monster. In a straight line, it's probably as fast as any Italian supercar. Put it up against any Ferrari, Lamborghini. I would argue in a drag race, it's gonna do just fine. It's gonna hang, right? May not win, but it's gonna hang. And that's on a Ford Mustang. Let's move into another really obscure one, Nissan. All right, the GTR. Now, historically, the Skyline has been kind of one of those unicorn cars for a lot of us Americans. It was a Japan-only car for how long? Forever. Until let's think about that for a second. It'd be the R35, I suppose. But the current Skyline, or the GTR, that's kind of a monster too. It's fairly inexpensive for the performance you're getting. The track pack makes it really drivable. You really can enjoy it. And same thing, you put it up against a Ferrari or Lamborghini, maybe it doesn't have the styling. I'd argue it doesn't have the styling, but from an overall performance package, it competes. It does compete. Then we go to the German, I'll call them the more high-end luxury cars. Let's start with BMW. BMW has its i8. Now, I did an episode about an i8 not that long ago, a few weeks ago, and it's got the doors, it's got the looks, it's a hybrid electric car, so it's got the speed, it's got the everything, it checks all the boxes. It's got a very futuristic look on the interior and exterior, fairly sought after, eye-catching, it's a beautiful car. Is it a supercar? I gotta say it is. If we move into the Audis of the world, Audi's supercar is going to be the R8. I've driven one. I would argue, same thing. It is maybe a Lamborghini in Audi clothing, right? I mean, that's what it is. It shares so many parts with, you know, the first gen was the Gallardo, and then the second generation it's the Huracan. But you know, it shares a lot of parts. It's got a lot of styling similarities. All in all, it's a good-looking car with supercar performance. So yeah, once again, there's another brand that's not necessarily considered a supercar brand that puts out a pretty darn good supercar. I guess I want to pose the question to you guys. You know, when you think of a supercar, are you thinking of that lime green Lamborghini screaming down the road? Or are you thinking of that pearl white BMW? Or are you thinking of some random, you know, bright red Ferrari? Or are you thinking of a black Nissan Skyline? I think the definition of a supercar needs to be defined more as the entire package and not so much as a generic couple of words that dictate what people need to think of a car. Do supercars need to be fast? Yes. Do supercars need to be expensive? No. Do supercars have to have every power option under the sun? They don't. They don't. So, you know, lots of power, lots of speed. I would say those are the major qualifiers for a supercar. Does it have to look the part? Yeah, I mean, I think that that's part of the definition too. But can a car look pretty run-of-the-mill and still perform like a Ferrari? Yeah, I would say it can. Price plays a big role too. You think about a new Ferrari at $250,000 or a new Lamborghini for $200,000. Is that too much or too little to pay for a supercar? A Bugatti is north of $1 million. There's other car makers that are well over $1 million. Again, you can buy a Ford Mustang GT500, the Shelby, 90 grand, 75 grand, you know, if you find a used one with some miles on it and things like that. So you don't have to spend, you know, $250,000 or $500,000 or even $1 million to get yourself into quite a nice supercar. So the question I pose to you, I circle back. What is your definition of a supercar? Go ahead and post in the comments below. Let me know what some of the qualifiers are for you. Is it price? Is it performance? Is it the color? Is it the body? Is it interior features? You tell me. I'm really, really curious. It's a genuine question. Because the internet will give you a million different answers what a supercar is. There is no definitive answer. So I think it's all opinionated. I think you can find a supercar within nearly every auto manufacturer's lineup. It probably is their most expensive car, but that's okay. It's engineered in such a way that it's supposed to be, right? There's a lot of technology and a lot of performance and a lot of power in those cars. And, you know, you got to justify it with a price. So anyway, that's where I'm going to leave you guys with that question to ponder. Please answer in the questions below. I'd love to do a giveaway of some sort, and I don't know what that looks like just yet. So maybe while you're commenting, tell me what kind of giveaways should I do? You know, do I need to do some sort of trivia or something like that? Do we play a game? Do we do some sort of financial Q&A and maybe I reward the winners with some sort of prize? I don't know what that looks like yet, but if you can, comment down below. As always, like and subscribe. Please interact, share this video, share other videos, watch the other videos, and I'd encourage you to spark debate. If you disagree with me, by all means, please let me know. Post it down below. We can have a nice dialogue about it. I'm happy to, you know, debate about whatever we need to debate about. But, you know, generally when I share these opinions, that's exactly what they are. They're just opinions. My views might be different than yours, and that's okay. We're all entitled to our own opinions. So, I appreciate you watching the video, and as always, may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.